Had a somewhat bizarre interaction with a client this morning. Inspired me to make this talk video concerning forms of communication. Communication is one of our most powerful tools, one of our best resources in business. And the software that I use on my phone, I have everyone starts out with an open line of communication, meaning everybody can reach me, get a hold of me anytime virtually. However, there are a couple of resources I have to deal with clients who become difficult, or in some cases people who are no longer a client of mine, and when the interaction goes a certain way, goes bad, you need to have ways to deal with that. So that brings me to mute and block, which are the two resources that I use in my business. So as you know, what I call mute is actually just hiding notifications. So if someone gets put on mute, it means I can't see anything that comes in from them until I choose to at a later time. I have to open up the text menu and look. It doesn't come up on my screen. So to give you an example of that, I had a guy, I still work for this guy. He's a nice guy, but what happened was he started pestering me about doing this property that was outside of my service area. And so he asked me 2, 3, 4 times within a span of a couple of days, hey, can you go out to this area and cut this property? And I told him, no, I don't service that area, I'm sorry. And after telling him 3 or 4 times I don't service that area, I just said, okay, heck with it, put him on mute. I've told you, it typically, and moving forward from that, it was tell you once, tell you twice, third time, that's it, you're put on mute. I'm not playing games. So that interaction wasn't that bad. It was just the guy, for whatever reason, the guy wouldn't leave me alone about it. Now, for block, that's where you just take the contact and block contact or block number. That's reserved for people who, if you let them go or they let you go and the interaction goes bad, block the number. Or if somebody's verbally abusive to me, block their number. I'm not dealing with that shit. That sort of thing is reserved for is where the people on the block list go. Scammers and spam callers are also on the block list. So these are resources that I use, and this is the way I use them. You don't have to necessarily in your business, but I've found this is the best way to maintain your peace both in your business and in your personal life, but also to keep everything a little bit better organized, because as many messages you have coming through, there's a lot of clutter you get going in your head, and it's easier to keep things straight, if you know who to talk to and who not to talk to. And that's what the purpose of the mute and the block list are for. Now, another thing I will mention here, that the way I do things, mute might just seem to some like purgatory kind of. It's kind of like this limbo where you're not quite out of contact, but you're not quite in contact. That's accurate. That's accurate to say. However, unlike Catholicism, once you go on the mute list, you don't go. There's only one place you can go. There is only one area you can go once you're on mute, and that's to block. And if you go to block, you ain't coming back. It's over. I've had people, tell me that's a little bit strict, it's a little bit harsh, but that's, I've dealt with it both ways. I've left people free, to talk trash or criticize or, talk down to me and the way I do things, and I don't deal with that anymore. So people that are verbally abusive, you're going on block. People who are wasting my time with estimates they're not going to do, you're going on block. People that hire me and then decide, oh, I'm not going to use you after all, block. People that waste time, block. People that insult or criticize, like I said a minute ago, people who you have to part ways with and the interaction goes bad in any way, if the person cusses you out, or if the person acts a certain way, if I don't like the attitude they're giving off, block. Saves time in the long run, I've found. So anyway, that's my little talk video for the day. I'm getting out here, just got a couple done here, trying to beat the heat. It's going to be a hot week. 105 degrees one day, I believe I saw. Brutal temperatures. I like the heat, but that heat is too hot for me. So I'm out here early trying to beat the heat and get things done. I hope this video was informative to some people. If you have any questions about my policies, this might become a regular thing. I might do more videos talking about my policies, business policies, but could call this version 1 of that video. So anyway, I better wrap this up and focus on my driving.